Hello, today I'm going to make my second video on my channel, family and business law channel. First of all, I hope you guys are all well and healthy there amid this global coronavirus pandemic. Everybody's scared. Um, the whole situation is can keep worsening so far. So this is my first wish. All you guys are healthy there. But if unfortunately you and your friends are infected, or sometimes people have got very seriously sick, so people need to think about putting in place a plan how to deal with their estate when they go when they leave the world. So if you and your friends who have assets in China, and probably you want to listen to this video to the very end. Alright, so today I'm going to talk about how to make a will for your assets in China. A will is a piece of paper people write down their wishes regarding how they wish their assets will be allocated or distributed after they die. Well, when it comes to a foreigner write a will for their China assets, the first question you might ask whether they should have a separate will for their China assets, or they put the China assets together with the asset in their home country in a one will. This is very often asked by foreign clients inquiries on my blog. Yeah, the question is actually not straightforward. It's always depend on the situation, current situation. But generally speaking, from my understanding and from my experience, I think it's better to write a separate will for your China assets. The basic reason is that the procedure and the formality to deal with China assets is not the same as you do back in your home country. For example, in China, we don't have the probate proceeding, but in the United States and in other common countries, most countries they have their probate proceeding when someone died. So it might be advisable to have a separate will for your China assets. Okay, so when you decide to write your China your will for your China assets, so you need to think about what kind of form will you need to adopt. Most countries they have very stringent rules regarding how a will should be made. For example, in China, under China's succession law, basically people will adopt either a notarization will, holographic will, and sometimes allographic will. By notarization will, I mean the people, the testator, will go to a China notary office and write a will before notary officer, and the notary officer will record the whole process by taking a video, ask questions, sign papers, and then issue a very formal notarization book, a document to the person, to the will maker in the end. Holographic will is actually a pretty primitive way of writing a will. That means people have to write every word by in hand on the piece of paper, and you have to date it, you have to sign it to make it valid. But today, people don't really use handwriting to make a will. So the third one is allographic will. That means a will written by someone else for you. Again, it's about writing in hand. In this case, the allographic will, there has to be two witnesses, and one of the witnesses has to be the person who write the will for the testator. Otherwise, you'll be invalid. But it's probably irrelevant, what forms a will under Chinese law, if the client or if you are not making a will in China, instead you are still in your home country, in that case, you will have to do what local law says regarding the form of the will. So far as so far as I understand from my experience dealing with helping different so many foreign clients dealing with their China assets, I know I have seen quite a number of foreign wills. I know generally the client we go to a law firm, and the lawyer will prepare the will, and two lawyers to associate probably serve as the witnesses when the client sign the document. But in order for the will to be used in China in the future, after you do the notarization of your will with your law firm, with your lawyer or notary officer, then you will have to get this will also, we call it legalized at the China consulate with the China consulate formality, and that will be easily accepted in China court. Indeed, if there's no such China consulate legalization, you might have problem to to use the will in a China court proceeding. All right, that's about what kind of form you can use when you write your will. The second question, the next question will be, to whom you can leave your assets, your estate to when you die. I mean, who are the beneficiary? Who are the beneficiary in your will? You appointed in a will. Well, there's actually under China's succession law, there's not many restriction at all. People enjoy pretty nice freedom in choosing the beneficiaries. It can be a family member, it can be your friends, it can be a good neighbor, or sometimes you can leave to the government if you wish to, and you can also leave to the charities. That's for sure. Well, the thing is, when you appoint a beneficiary who are not your family member, by family member, most time we're talking about the spouses, children, grandchildren, okay, and siblings, yeah. But if the beneficiaries are not those people, and then there is a very important issue you need to take note, because let's say in the case of a real property in China, you want to leave the property to your neighbor, okay, your close friend. Since they are not your family member, when they show up here in China to claim the title based on the will as the beneficiary, he or she will have to pay a huge tax here in China. Well, I mean, because they are not family member, they need to, especially when they sell the property, they will pay at least 20% of the sale price. That's a lot. So in this case, I will suggest the foreign testator set up a trust in a will. Generally called a testamentary trust. With the trust, you can appoint a family member as the trustee and hold the property for the intended beneficiary. Of course, sometimes the family member are also the beneficiary as well. But here, by choosing a trustee, then this trustee has the obligation to, distribute that part of asset to your intended beneficiary, your friends or the charities. Because the trustee is your family member, when the trustee take over the title of the property in China, it has no problem. It has no problem with the taxes. I mean, in most cases, in some cases, they might still pay some tax, but again, it will save a lot of tax money by structure the will this way. Well, the last question people might ask that whether I should appoint an executor or executrix in my will. Well, generally speaking, here in China, people, don't really use appoint executor in their will. I don't think it happens a lot. The reason is because under China's succession law does not provide detailed rules regarding how executor should function uh, when someone dies. So because of this lack of legal provision and the rules, so most of the cases China, uh, the will maker in China, they don't appoint executor at all. When they died, their the heirs or beneficiary of the will, they will have to work together to work out the estate problem. But again, as you can imagine, in that case, it's easy for the people to have dispute, and then the whole thing end up in courtroom. So, but again, I mean, you can still appoint, that's for sure, that's okay. I'm just saying it does not help a lot. But again, the executor may probably help to organize something. For example, the executor have the power to appoint a trained lawyer to help with dealing with the estate. That's probably one of the benefits of appointing the executor in your will. All right, I think so much for today's video regarding to make a will for your assets in China. I understand you might still have a lot of questions. You can leave your question below the video, and I will try to respond as soon as possible. Again, if you think this video is interesting, is helpful, please like it and share it with your friends. Next time, I might do another video regarding how to carry out the inheritance of China assets. Okay, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in my next video.